I think I'm addicted to the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold7, and honestly, this is not where I expected to be when I first got this phone. It has become critical to how I work while moving around, and it was so good that I actually moved my main SIM into this phone. And 1 year later, the Z Fold7 has 3 different compromises, while also having some of the best things that I like about it, even after I have used the highly praised Z Fold 8 right here. I'm your captain of awesome, this is Geekception. Let's get into my 1 year later review of the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold7. How is the crease? How is the hinge? Is it worse than day one? Because a lot of people, I see all those comparison videos, day one versus 1 year later. And I would say, sure, I do see the crease a lot more now versus when I first got the Z Fold7. But is it like bad, like as people make it to be? I do not think so, actually. I just think it's just regular use, which will also happen to any kind of device that has a crease in it. So it's not really a criticism of the Z Fold7. Sure, you can see the lines off angle, but as someone who has been using it for 1 year now, you're mostly using it like this and you rarely ever see it. Do you feel it though? I would say yes, I do feel it a little bit now. On day one, I did not feel it as much. And to be honest, I feel it just in the lower parts here, not at the top as much here, right? But in the lower parts here, I definitely do feel it, but there's definitely been no bubbles on the screen. The pre-installed screen protector still works brilliantly here, as you can see. And yeah, I even dropped it, I would say. Not only did I drop it, I also scratched it as well, which is very not typical for me. As you can see, there is a scratch right there in the middle, which I put the phone in my pocket. I think there was a key. I rarely walk with keys, but the one time that I walk with a key, it scratches the display here. And I think it even fell down from the table. It vibrated and then boom, fell off the table, but almost no scratches here. And for all of the other media that I've spoken to as well, who have the Z Fold7, they told me the same thing, that it's actually pretty durable. Many people have that fear that, oh, it's a foldable phone, it's just going to disintegrate if you look at it wrong too much. But that has actually not been my experience. My experience has been that this phone has been very durable. But as with everything in life, what makes you great is most probably what also makes you not great, right? And coming to the Z Fold7 right here, it's the thinness, right? From day one, I've gotten the same comments as now 1 year later, which is that when I want to open this phone, it's very difficult to grip just because of how thin it is. And every time I hand someone the Z Fold7 and they want to open it, they are always scared they're going to drop it. As you can see, I literally do not try to drop it. It's legit how it always feels every single time I open the Z Fold7. There is rarely any grip here, but I will not be mad at you if you use the case just so that you have a little bit more grip. Because without a case here, there's almost no grip. And if you can see the USB-C port right here, it's so thin that like it's almost bursting out on the sides, right? That's how thin this phone is. So because of that, it's very difficult. And yeah, this is one fatal flaw that I have noticed with the Z Fold7, just when it comes to operability and the kind of struggles I have faced from day one up until now. And I think I underestimated how much more enjoyable a device becomes when you're just able to not think about using it and you just use it, which is exactly what happened here on the Z Fold7. As for behavior, this phone then became like a mini tablet where I could just open it up and boom, I most of the times have a productivity machine. So most of the time I have my Notion here and then I have my Discord, which is where I run all of my AI, autonomous agentic AI from. So I'm just here, you know, I'm writing all of the ideas that I have on this side and I'm doing something else on this side. And one thing I like is the keyboard modes here, where if I'm typing, I can just, I think, go into the mode here, keyboard, and go into floating keyboard. And now I have way more space and it doesn't have to be locked just to the bottom. So I can be able to type and it doesn't obstruct both sides. So I found myself using this in a productivity capacity most of the time. And this really surprised me because I've never been a fold person. In fact, this is the first fold device that I've ever gotten. And I think the biggest surprise for me was that I actually used the inner screen more than I used the outer screen, which is what some people complain the opposite. They always say that they actually don't open the inner screen enough. For me, it was the opposite. Like, I use this a lot, especially because I wrote so many scripts with this device right here, because I just found it much more easier for me to have something open here. For example, I have my ChatGPT or I have my web browser, or I just love One UI because of just how easy it is here to be able to, let's say I bring out my Chrome and I'm able to have something I'm researching. For example, I was researching this here. I can just enter it there as well. And any task that required me to do more than just a quick reply, I find myself opening up the inner display a lot more. And I say it actually became like my regular way of using this device, so much so that when I got the Z Fold 8, which is right here, right, I end up using it in this way, which is rotated in portrait mode like this, which is actually very similar. For example, if I open Twitter, it's actually very similar to how it is here on the Z Fold 7 by default, you can see, but on the Z Fold 7, it's actually a bit wider, which I prefer in many instances. Sure, on the Z Fold 8 right here, it's very compact and it's very easy to keep versus the Z Fold 7, which, yes, it is a bit too long. I'm going to give it that, especially when you are using single apps on the outer display. But for me, that just meant, hey, just open up the inner display and you have a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, I did not think that the lack of an S Pen will bother me, but it actually bothered me way more than I thought. Now, I think the most important thing is just the larger inner display, right? So it's got this massive inner display, and as someone who is so used to writing a lot with my S Pen on my S26 Ultra, in fact, most of the scripts, I usually write it with my S26 Ultra right here. Whether it's my unboxing script, whether it's the ideas that I have, I am a huge S Pen lover. It feels like on the Fold 7 right here, it will have benefited so much with an S Pen, because look at this. This is literally built for notes, and I have that same notes app. Imagine I could write with the S Pen. That would have been great here on the Z Fold 7. And it just feels like we are missing something here. Now, moving to battery, and I would say that my experience is actually very different from what I've seen online. So everybody tends to say the battery life is bad and all of that. But I've actually found that for me, I can get most of the time a full day out of this phone right here. And I'm always using the inner screen. I rarely use the outer screen. And I'm using it sometimes up to 7 hours at a time. Either I'm writing my scripts, either I'm doing my research, or sometimes either I'm just on social media, not doing either of any of those things, and instead I'm just looking at what people are mad at today, right? But either way, I actually get a lot of battery life out of this Z Fold 7 right here. And some of the reasons might be that, of course, I'm a tech creator, right? So most of the time I'm walking around with more than one phone, definitely minimum of 2 phones, sometimes even more at the same time. So it's not like my only dependent phone right there. Another reason could be that I do not use Waze or Google Maps or any of those really intensive apps that can drain your battery, especially because here in Malaysia, the weather is like really, really hot. So I can imagine if you're in a region where the weather plays a huge thing as well, sure. But for me, I'll definitely say that most times battery life has been great for me. Now, the 25-watt wired charging is not ideal. It's not the best. I'm going to be very, very honest with you. But I've been able to work around it, especially when I can just plug this in right here. And when it comes to performance here, I would say I have really enjoyed gaming on the Z Fold 7. And one thing that has actually really surprised me is that it doesn't get warm to the touch like some other phones. And not only have I gamed here, I'm actually playing my Vampire Survivors, which I synchronized with my Steam account. And I think you just get so much. And not only that, I believe there's only one part when it comes to performance that I've been very frustrated with. And it's not so much so about the chip inside, because I think the chip inside is amazing, actually. But let's say I open the Edits app, which is why I only have one project here in the Edits app. And after this one project, I have not used the Edits app here on the Z Fold 7, is that it's just not optimized at all, like for a open form factor here on Android. Now, in comparison, when I grab, let's say, my S26 Ultra, which was why I went back to my S26 Ultra, I can edit here. It's very fast. It's very snappy. Or most of the time, I just use my iPhone where I have all of my edits because I make shorts every day, right? So I try to also shoot it on my devices as well. But I've not been able to do that on my Z Fold 7. And I would say this is where it's not so much so about the performance of the device itself, it's more of like just the lack of optimization. So an app like Instagram, for example, for the longest time, when I open it and let's say I'm in my story, it has this weird bars at the top and at the bottom, which fair enough, but they just don't blend very well, right? I'm moving to the camera here, and I found the day-to-day camera to be very, very usable, I would say, especially like the interface here on the Fold. It just looks so nice right there. You can see just how easy it is to swipe between photos. You have a wide range of cameras, I would say, in theory. So you've got that ultra wide, the main camera, and the 3x camera there, but in reality, I found myself to really struggle with some of the camera quality here, especially when the light went lower, so in lower light condition. And in telephoto, for example, this phone really struggled, I would say, with some of the samples I got. And it just felt like I was missing the last 20%, like 80% of the shots were good, but it just felt like that just extra 20% where you are able to get the best of the best, I just didn't feel like I could get it here on the Z Fold7. So most of the time, I think this was actually what drove me to switch to the S26 Ultra, just because the cameras here on paper don't look amazing, but in reality, they were way more consistent. I got way much better quality out of them. And of course, I have my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I still use for the cameras as well. When it comes to the photos, I would say it's been okay, but for the price, maybe I am not looking for just okay. Maybe I'm looking for amazing. And I did not experience an amazing camera here, but for everyday use, I would say it's more than good enough. Should you keep the Z Fold7 if you already have it? Buy one of the new series that just came out, or a secret third option? Well, let's get into it. And I'll suggest you keep the Z Fold7 if you already own it. The hinge and the inner display are still pretty good. The battery is healthy and it fits what you want to use. The camera maybe is not the ultimate priority here, I'm going to be honest with you, but you're okay with just what it has. Because if not, you will be paying again for refinement rather than a completely new experience when it comes to the latest one, which is the Fold 8 Ultra. And I made a comparison video, so you can go check that out here on my channel. Links will be in the description down there below. And I'll tell you buy the Z Fold7 discounted if you already don't have it. For example, if money matters to you, you don't want to be spending so much on the latest and greatest. You want a thin phone that is really nice in the hand. It feels really good, but you have to accept that weaker telephoto camera that is here, 25-watt charging, which is not as fast as the newest series, and no S Pen. But you still want years of software upgrades, so this is going to get that 6 years now. And if your unit that you're getting, if you're getting secondhand, still has a very good hinge here and inner screen that is not broken, then I would say that picking this up either secondhand or even new might be a great foldable experience, especially because this phone is still amazing. I'll tell you that for sure. But what about the regular Fold 8 here? Should you pick it up over the Z Fold7? And I'd say if this is your first Fold device and you like this model, especially because it's just so easy to like it, maybe you've always thought this was a bit too long and you do not like it, the Z Fold 8 here is an amazing device, and it's almost as thin as the Z Fold7 as well, if not even lighter. Like, this phone is definitely a head turner, and I'll definitely recommend it if you're not someone who specifically loves the form factor of the Z Fold7 right here. Now, when should you skip the Z Fold7? And I would say if you need a very good camera, especially the telephoto camera, if you rely on the S Pen, if you need much faster charging, and if you don't want that anxiety here, then this phone might not be for you. And it's all right, because not everything is made for all of us at the same time. So this just might not be for you. And wrapping up the video, I would say after 1 year, I did not expect to be addicted to this phone as much as I am. And even though I love the Z Fold 8, the new form factor, I still find myself coming back to the Z Fold7 just because of all the overall things that I get here. The bigger display on the inside, the productivity gains, the multitasking, the good enough camera system, just how sturdy the phone is, the form factor, and just the overall package here on the Z Fold7 has definitely been one that has surprised me. Someone who never thought that I would like the Fold form factor, But here we are. And if you're someone who has been using the Z Fold 7, can you please tell me two things? First is your crease. How bad is your crease right now? And second is your battery life. How good or bad is your battery life? I would really, really want to find out, because I found so many more negative information online versus my experience and the experience of some people I know in real life that it's been okay. This video has been a year in the making and I've just really enjoyed it. I wanted to share my experience and I appreciate that you've gotten all the way here. And yeah, please make sure you like and subscribe so that you get more of these kinds of videos. And more importantly, please take care of yourself. Text me when you get home so I know you got home safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. I've been your Captain of Awesome. This is Geekception. Bye. And thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. I'm currently recording this on the Z Fold 8 and I just got something because you made it all the way here. I can share this with you before it actually comes live. Is this the Xiaomi 17 Ultra? I'm very excited for it. And I also have like the photography kit as well, which is nice. But please tell me some of the things you're excited about here in Malaysia. At this time I'm making this video, the Pixel 11 event is tomorrow, where I'm heading to the Google office. I'm very excited about that. So in your comment, leave hashtag Pixel 11 so I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. But please also share some of the things you're excited about when it comes to just in your life. Is it shows? Is it movies? Whatever it is, I would love to hear it out because I really love and appreciate you. And please make sure you take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.